what I remember was he used to teach Qube too. In those days, he used to teach Qube, and he would say, amaya amuma adjes aban adesa adud adoyet odu odes ba bakava bakakov bofo borati bofa barbad bareda barana badus baden si barbad chala chamati mucha chama sana kanutu mucho chane chehe chunchuna chore ni che chunfe ni chire chokors chafe chama sin chufte chalisaja. This was like fascinating. As little boys, we used to listen to him, and children used to get excited, and he was really a committed Oromo fighter, and his contribution in the revival of the Oromo culture and language and tradition was immense. We owe him. We owe Abu Bakr Musa. People like Ali Berra and Abu Bakr Musa are, I don't know what the Oromo people will pay them, but we owe them. It's a fact.
Yes, we are so grateful for these people who didn't let Oromo culture die, Oromo language, Oromo identity, and who continue to fight for its growth and revival. And certainly Ali Berra has been, at the forefront of that.
Yeah.
And while we're on that topic, what does it mean to be an Oromo? What is an Oromo?
That's a big question, but we will simplify this complex. What it means to be Oromo, I think first is to be born Oromo and to be socialized into the Oromo culture. And to be born into Oromo is not sufficient, because my wife is not Oromo. She is an Asian from Kenya, but she is, and she believes it, not only believes it, but she lives Oromo. She carries the Oromo cross. And I think what it means to be Oromo is a complex thing. It's to be born Oromo, to be socialized in Oromo, to pick up the cultures, to think the way Oromo think, and to carry the Oromo cross.
What about Oromumma?
Well, Oromumma, you can, if you want to be academic, then this takes us back into the cosmology. The Oromo divide everything into two, and one part of these two halves is three, and the other is two. Together they form five. So in Oromo, five is like, it's called Yaya Shanal. They've named it. Now the ancient Oromo lawmakers, the original lawmakers, were also five. They are also called Yaya Shanal, Yaya Gologobo, Yaya Manele Kajarso, Yaya Borubilo, Yaya Babogalesa, and Yaya Galeano. Each one of these actually worked on different aspects of Oromo legal system. I think Galeano worked on Sera Horaf, Sera Hori. Manele Kajarso worked on inheritance law, and each one of them, Sera Gosaf, Sera Gola was Borubilo. So each, well, this is like, it's not something that I can really articulate and make clear to everybody in this kind of session, because you have to start with the creation myth and how everything is a replication of this creation myth at different levels, and how Ayana comes into play, and what Oromos think about Ayana and the creator Waka, and how this Waka propels out of itself to become its own opposite and creates the universe. And so Oromumba contains all these things.
Okay.
So And this thing is, learning this thing is a lifetime process.
Yes.
From childhood to death, this is what you learn and this is what you go through. The Gada is in here, the Oromo, the Boranticha is in here, the kinship system is in there, the economy is in it, and everything, as Professor Iskel was mentioning, the entire Jurujurenya of the Oromo is in it. So that's what the Oromuma, that's what constitutes Oromuma. It's this and more.
Well, maybe I've heard you say so many times that Oromuma is not about what runs into your vein. It's about what you know, your consciousness.
Absolutely.
Can you give us some like outlines? Of course, it's a vast knowledge system. You say Jurujurenya, for instance.
Yeah.
Is there 4 or 5 things that any Oromo should know to know Oromuma?
Well, the thing is, really, if you want to understand Oromo culture, you have to know the trees, the names of the plants. For instance, traditionally, Oromos used to teach children muki muko, muk, makanisa angafa mukalafatin isa. Then you have to count as many trees without breathing. You know, it was a competition kind of. Then they used to teach children about through new games about numbers. So there is traditionally this Oromo concept of counting, mathematics, and symbols like ibaguto lakop sa sagal tamaburat alang kadesa sa detam damikel tutor batam aba manash jatam mambaruda dusyan tamolak kadibba futam gamagango so daman dubi so dad kurun dubi kunti salgan aladulota sa detan elencha. And these were each one of these things that they're symbols, Oromo cultural symbols that you transmit to the growing up children.